world, I'm going to give you an idea. I'm going to give you a concept. I'm going to give you a strategy. And when you apply this strategy, you'll be successful. You'll acquire a lot of wealth. And you'll also understand why people and how people are acquiring their wealth, how people are acquiring massive wealth. And what I'm requesting from you people is just to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Just subscribe because we really need those subscribers. Viewers, now this is the idea and this is the strategy that I'm going to share with you. Make sure you are keen and make sure you get everything that I'm saying because it will help you a lot in life. Number one, if you hold a gun and I hold a gun, then we can talk about laws. Number two, if you hold a knife and I hold a knife, then we can talk about rules. But if you come empty-handed and I come empty-handed, then we can talk about reasons. But keep in mind, let me remind you, but if you have a gun and I only have a knife, then the truth lies in your hand. Again, if you have a gun and I have nothing, what you're holding isn't just a weapon. It's my life, my future, and my fate. The concept of laws, rules, morality have meaning only when applied on basic and on basis of equal ground. The harsh truth about the world is that when money speaks, the truth goes silent. The harsh truth of this world is that when money speaks, the truth always goes silent. And when power begins to speak, now this is very interesting and this is where you need to be very keen and very attentive. When power begins to speak, viewers, I'm telling you, even money takes 3 steps back. Those who create the rules are often the first one to break them, while these rules are trained for the weak, and they're usually a powerful tool for the strongest. In this world, anything good must be fought for. The masters of the game are fairly competing for resources while the weak sit idle waiting to be given a share. The powerful do not wait for opportunity. Let me remind you that the powerful people do not wait for opportunity. What do? They create it. They create it. They compete for resources, influence, and control. Meanwhile, the weak are left waiting for mercy, hoping that someone will spare them a small piece of what was never meant to be shared. In a world where power is unequal, justice is fragile, truth is vulnerable, and freedom is never guaranteed, in the end, the world does not always belong to those who are right. Too often, it belongs to those who hold the greatest power. What can you learn from this concept, from this idea, from this strategy? Is that if you want something, you are supposed to fight for it. I'm telling you, viewers, if you want something across the whole world, I'm talking to the viewers all over the world. If you want something, you are supposed to fight for it. If you want something, you're supposed to go get it. If you want something, you're supposed to compete for it very hard, because there's nothing that comes on a silver plate. And if you're a weak person, you're sitting there waiting to be given a share, then you will not succeed. You will not acquire the resources you need. You won't get whatever you want. You need to grab it, you need to fight for it, because you're competing with the whole world, This strategy, this concept will help you to figure out how people are acquiring wealth, how are people becoming wealthy and you are not, how are people fixing themselves in the wealthy line, how are people becoming billionaire, trillionaires, while you're just sitting there waiting to be given a share. Remember what the law is saying. If you hold a gun, and I also have a gun, we can talk about laws, right? But if you hold a knife, right? Remember, if you hold a gun and I hold a gun, we can talk about laws. But if you hold a gun and I hold a gun, we can talk about laws. If you hold a gun and I hold a gun, of course, we can talk about laws. If you hold a knife and I hold a knife, we can talk about rules. But if you come empty-handed and I come empty-handed, we can talk about reason. But if you hold a gun and I hold a knife, then the truth lies in your hand, the person who has a gun. Again, if you hold a gun and I have nothing, what you're holding isn't just a weapon. You're holding my life, my fate, and my future. And what do we learn from this story? In conclusion, the concept of laws, rules, and morality have meaning only when applied based on equal grounds. equal grounds in a way that you come empty-handed, I come empty-handed. We can talk about what? You can talk about reasons. You can talk about reasons. You come with a gun, I come with a gun, then you can talk about law. You come with a knife, I come with a knife, you can talk about rules. But if you come with a gun and I'm empty-handed, what you're holding? You're holding my life, you're holding my future. So what you need to learn is that, again, those who create the rules are the one who are going to break those rules. And these rules are always meant for the weak. Never forget that. These rules are always meant for the weak. Never forget that these rules are always meant for the weak. And the last thing we can say, the masters of this game are fairly competing for resources, while the weak are sitting there idle, waiting for mercy and hope that someone can give them a share of what it was not supposed to be shared. So the big plus in this game, those people who are strong, those people who are setting these rules are competing for resources. And if you're a weak person, you're just sitting there idle, waiting that someone will have mercy on you and give you what wasn't supposed to be shared. Be ashamed and make sure from today, from this concept, you grab, you fight. Make sure you're a fighter. Make sure you're someone like Machiavelli, Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, Barack Obama. Make sure you're someone like Trump. Make sure you're someone like Ayatollah Khamenei. Make sure you're someone who fight. Make sure on the table where the rules are being set, you're the one setting the rules. Make sure you're the one breaking the rules. Make sure you're the one who is getting and acquiring a lot of resources, and never accept to be weak, never give up, and never accept to be weak. And once again, I'm telling you viewers, just subscribe, because all I'm demanding from you are just subscriptions, all that. Subscribe, comment, share. See you again. Peace out. Because the world is ours and the world is home.